How's it going? My name's Adam, and today's Labor Day 2015, and we're going to do some ribs. It's a big grill out day, so we figured we'd post a little video on how we do things here. We're here in Central Florida. I'm by no means a professional barbecue guy. I do it's kind of like my hobby on the weekends, but everything I'm going to do today is something anyone can do. I'm going to show you the stuff that I use. Everything that I use can be bought at any kind of grocery store down the road, so anybody can copy this method, and it usually turns out pretty good. There's not many ribs left and people are done. So I'm going to kind of show you the basics of what I use. Today I'm using a little bit of seasoned salt. Something right here called Killer Bee. I've never used this before. This is from a local barbecue store down here in our town. So I'm going to try that today and give it a shot. And a little bit of lemon pepper and then quite a bit of brown sugar. Over here some stuff I've used in the past, and that's the thing, is you can kind of do whatever you want to do. Find something you like and play around with it, and finally you'll find something that kind of you like. And what I've done is watched a lot of videos and kind of taken bits and pieces from all these videos and kind of made my own little spin on it. So I'm going to kind of show you what I do, and we'll see if they can turn out pretty good for you. But these have already been trimmed up. These are actually St. Louis style ribs. I do prefer baby backs, but these were on sale, so they got bought because they were cheaper. But these are a lot thicker, so they might take a little bit longer, but they've already been trimmed up. I've taken the membrane off these already. And if you have any questions about taking the membrane off, let me know. I can help you out with that. There's also a lot of videos out there to show you what to do there. But what I'm going to first do is start out a little bit of seasoned salt on these. I'm not going to use too much seasoned salt. This Killer Bee season is going to be the main thing that I use, and quite a bit of brown sugar. This really just giving a little bit of extra flavor on the bottom here. Do a little bit on each one. And that's about all I'm using there. I'm going to do a little bit of lemon pepper now. Not too much this. Just a little bit. We do got kids running around, so you will hear them every now and then. And then again, I've never used this seasoning here, so I'm real interested to see. They were really big on it at the barbecue store, so I'm going to go on their recommendation and kind of see how it tastes. Again, I've tried several things, and this is a little different than what I do, but normally, that's how you figure things out, is by trying it. And you can be pretty liberal with it, however you like to do it. Sometimes, I mean, if you can watch a lot of videos out there, some people get a lot of seasoning on there, so that's where you get your taste from. And then my next thing is brown sugar. Brown sugar, I'm going to sprinkle it right now, and before we put these bad boys on the grill, I'm going to come back and show you a picture of these things. And they're going to look completely wet. This brown sugar is going to kind of melt in there, and like I said, you'll see it when we show it again. But it'll be wet, and it'll just looks like it has tons of flavor. But this pulls out a lot of juices in there, and it's kind of the brown sugar is kind of a secret on there that's really, really good. You really can't go wrong with too much brown sugar. And I'll just kind of pat it in here a little bit. And that's about it for that side. I'm going to turn them over. A lot of people use mustard on these things as kind of a base to stick to it. I do that on my pork butts. I don't really do it on my ribs, and really there's not one reason or another I do or don't. I've never had a problem with not getting too much seasoning on my ribs, so I don't know. I just never went with the mustard. I've actually had it before where I put too much seasoning and it kind of tastes a little salty, so I've never had a problem, like I said, getting on too much seasoning. So I kind of stay away from the mustard on my ribs. But again, once you start doing something, you'll kind of get a routine what you like to do and just go with it. Back a little bit of lemon pepper here. Yeah, normally I throw a few more things on here, some paprika, a couple other things, but this seasoning that I'm using, the main one, that Killer Bee, it has all that in it already, so I'm kind of going less for me this time and kind of see how that turns out. Now I'm noticing already it's kind of a lighter color seasoning than I would normally use. It doesn't have as much red in there as other stuff. But again, we're gonna try this one, and if you don't like it, we'll switch it out next time. But I can promise you, everything's still gonna be edible, and we'll have a good time doing it. All right, that's good there. And throw this brown sugar on here. Again, you can't go wrong on with brown sugar, and you see how much I'm putting on there. Wait till we put these things on the grill. You won't see any of this brown sugar on here, hardly. Maybe a couple little bits here and there, but it'll pretty much melt right in this meat. And you can get nothing but sweet ribs. That's what I'm going for. That's what we like around here. We like sweet ribs, and we like them falling off the bone too. And we'll talk more about that a little bit later. But that's kind of the prep for them. What we're going to do now, we'll touch base back with you in a minute once we get the grill going. I'll kind of show you how I prep the grill and what kind of wood I prefer and why I prefer that. But that's the preparation, as easy as that. Nothing to it. I use 3 different seasonings and some brown sugar. So again, anybody can do this. Stuff you can go to any grocery store and get. And like I said, it'll turn out good. But we'll meet you at the grill in a minute. All right, we're back out here at the grill. I'm going to give you a little idea of kind of what I use, everything. Again, nothing too fancy with what I got, everything pretty basic. But the grill that I use is just a Brinkman. It's a Trailmaster limited edition. I've had this thing for a long time, as you can tell. But it does the job. Got a lot of room cooking in here. And if you look in here, I got a little water pan over here. And just get a little moisture in there. I got it close to the fire with the heat coming out. So you can see got a little moisture coming. And I got a temperature gauge up here on top of my grill, but I don't ever really trust that thing. I got a little thing from Amazon. It's a Maverick temperature gauge here, and it's got one to go into the smoker. And if you're doing a pork butt, you actually got another probe you can put into the pork butt, and I can be inside my house with a remote control and know the temperature of my grill. So once it gets to, if it goes below where I need to go or it's too high, I know to come out to my grill and things like that. So this makes it a lot easier. I don't got to stand by the grill all day long. I can be walking around doing something. So that's a lifesaver. It's a good purchase. But over here, got my side box, my charcoal, got my chimney. If you don't have a chimney to do your charcoal, get one. That's a good purchase right here. But I'm gonna take my charcoal. Actually, I use apple wood here. Let me go over this real quick. I got some apple wood. I wet my wood just so that it gets a little better smoke and burns a little bit longer. But I'm really big on the fruit woods. The fruit woods, unlike your hickory and mesquite and everything, it doesn't give it as a big smoke. I don't want my food to taste like smoke completely. I want to have a little bit of a smoke taste, just to enhance kind of the ribs. But that other wood to me just gives too much of a smoke, and I like the fruit wood. And the apple wood works real good. Again, I get that at Home Depot for about 20 bucks, pretty big bag, and it'll last me a little while. So, but I really recommend the fruit wood if to give it a shot. And I'll just dump my charcoal in there about ready here. I'll put those in there. And then what I'm going to do now is just kind of let this thing get up to temperature. I know a lot of people cook in between 225, 230. Last 3 or 4 times I've done this, I've been a little bit higher, around 240, 250. So I'm going to try to maintain a 240, 250 today. I actually noticed it cuts down a little bit of time on the cook. And the last time they did it, fall off the bone ribs. So that's what I'm going for. I know in competition stuff, they don't want to fall off the bone, they want it to bite through. But around here, and when you go somewhere, what's the first thing you say about ribs? I want them to fall off the bone. So that's what we're shooting for today. So hopefully we take them off here in a little while. They'll be coming right off the bone, and I'll be able to show you exactly what's out there. All right, we're back in here, the ribs, where we put them on the grill. And if you look at them real close here, you can tell how wet they are. And all that brown sugar is pretty much gone. And I'm telling you, that's kind of a secret to it, man. And put that brown sugar on there, it kind of melts in there. And you can see how much flavor it looks like. And like I mentioned earlier about this new seasoning I'm using, it doesn't have as much color as I used to do. So I'm interested to kind of see how this ends up turning out for me. But again, it's usually a little bit darker than that. But you can see how wet and how moist them things look. We're back out here at the grill ready to throw these ribs on. And you can see here on my Maverick meat thermometer here, temperature gauge, whatever you want to call it, right at 246, 247, so right where I want to be, in between 240, 250. You look at these ribs again outside, you got a little bit of light. These bad boys are wet, man. So that's all that brown sugar working right there. So they're ready to put on, but let me show you inside the firebox again real quick. I did have some charcoal down at the bottom that wasn't used yet to kind of give me some more longevity out of this. I'm going to throw one more piece of apple wood on here for now, and we should be ready to go. And I'm going to throw these bad boys on and see what we can do. And you can see my wire, my temperature gauge is right here, so that's going to tell me exactly where my temperature's at. That water pan's getting hot. It's going to steam off of it here in a little bit. So throw these bad boys on here and see what we can do. Alright, and we're good to go. Again, I won't touch these things probably for about 45 minutes to an hour. All right, we're about an hour in, and we're back out here at the grill. And you can see my temperature hanging around right around 250, right where I want it to be. So I've been doing pretty good with the temperature. And again, I haven't looked at these things at all yet, so I'm about to open them up. And let's take a look here. You can see we got a lot of smoke coming out of there. And they're looking pretty good. We're just going to squirt on some apple juice here. And again, this apple juice is just going to keep them moist, smoke will dry stuff out. So we want to do this about every hour is what I do before we'll wrap them. But they're looking pretty good from this point. But this again, I'll spray them pretty good with this apple juice here. Give them a little bit of moisture. And we should be good to go. Everything's looking pretty good. Temperature's holding pretty steady. So we're doing good. But I'll do this again one more time as far as spraying them before we wrap them up here. And I'll touch base back with you once we get ready to wrap them, and we'll show you what we do there. All right, we're about 2 hours into this, and I did add a little bit more charcoal in there. It's getting pretty low, so I did add some charcoal and continuously adding some apple wood. I'm about to squirt these with apple juice for the second time. Looking pretty good. You can see they're coming up on the bone a little bit there, which is good. But I'm going to squirt them one more time, and should be within another hour. I'm going to wrap these things, and that's when we do a couple more things to them. And I'll show you what I'm doing there. But again, just about every hour, 45 minutes to an hour, hit them with this apple juice here real quick, and just keeps them from drying out too much. But again, my heat's been maintaining pretty steady today, which is good. All right, we're gonna take these off the grill now. Let's take a look at them. It's been right at 3 hours we've been cooking. You see how much smoke we got going on, but you can see them coming off the bone a little bit here. That's a good sign. That's when we want to start looking at taking them off. But I go by color. I don't go by time. I don't go by anything else. They got a good dark color. I don't want to get them any darker than that. They start looking burnt. You don't want that. You just want a good, like a mahogany type look. And this is right where we need them. So I'm going to put a little apple juice on them. We're going to take these off, take them inside and wrap them up, and we'll meet you in there. All right, we're inside. We're about to wrap these ribs up. I got one wrapped already. We're going to show you how to do these on one of them, and this is kind of where they get good. They get tender this way. That's where they're going to fall off the bone, and we're going to put a lot of extra flavor in them right now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to squirt them with some apple juice while they're in here, just like this, even around it. Have some juice in the bottom there. It's over there. I'm going to take some more brown sugar and get it on there, just like this. All right, after that, we're going to take some of this parquet butter. Put it right over top of it, just like this. Again, this is nothing but extra flavor going inside of these. And then on top of that, we're going to put a little bit of honey. Again, this is going to make them nothing but these are going to be sweet, sweet ribs. We're going to turn these over, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We get a little bit of apple juice. Get around there a little bit. Put some more brown sugar on these. Parquet butter. Again, this is going to be nothing but flavor. And when they're in this tin foil, they're really just going to be steaming. They're not going to be smoking anymore. The smoke's not going to get in there. You don't want too much smoke. That meat can only take so much smoke, and if you smother in that smoke, it's just not going to taste good. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of that big smoke taste. I just want a little bit to enhance the flavor. But that's about all there is to it right there. And you're just going to take these up and wrap them. This is the way I do it. Wrap them up just like that. And if you notice, I got the meat side facing down. From this point on, I'm only going to cook with the meat side down, because when I pull them out of this tin foil, there's going to be a bunch of juice, and it's just going to sit in that juice for a couple hours and just soak it all in. And then when we take them, unwrap them out of this tin foil, they'll be falling off the bone. It'll be time to sauce them up, and we'll be eating pretty soon after that. So we'll see in a little bit when we take them out of the tin foil. All right, we're right about 5 hours. We put them in at about 12 o'clock. It's right a little bit after 5 o'clock right now. And so I peeked at them a little bit earlier, and I think we're ready to go. And just to let you know, I was adding some charcoal and some apple wood here and there, just to keep the fire going and keep the temperature consistent on there. But we'll open these bad boys up here and see what we got. I'm gonna see what I can do here and See, there's gonna be a lot of juice in here, so what I'm gonna do is get it all up in here. Look at that, that's just one rib of how much juice that was soaking in. And open these things up. And you can see, when I said fall off the bone, things hot. But they're falling off the bone. And when you take them out, now these things are gonna be really, really tender, so be careful. All right, so we got them all out of tin foil now. That's how we did the first one. We did the same thing with the second two. And look at this little pot right here. That's all the juice that came out of all three of those tin foil. You can actually take that and reduce it down and dump back over there if you wanted to, or use it for any kind of an au jus type thing, I guess. But this is the time that I like to sauce them, and you can see how much these ribs are done. They're actually falling apart already. And again, for competition style ribs, supposedly that's not a good thing. So, but again, for what we like, we want them falling off the bone, and this is textbook falling off the bone here. So at this point, we're just gonna put some sauce on them here, and I'm gonna rub them on. And now at this point, I got my temperature. I want it low. I don't want it 250 like anymore. I've got my box over there completely shut down to allow any more air to come in there. I just want some slow smoke in here. I don't want much heat. All right, we're gonna take a look here. Again, it's probably only been 10 minutes. I'm gonna turn these things over. We're gonna sauce the other side, and they're gonna be done. I don't want to leave them on too much longer because these things are they're cooked as much as they need to be cooked right now. They don't need to cook any more than what they're cooked right now. And you can see coming up on the ribs right there. That's exactly how you want them. Like I said, you can see them falling off the bone. Again, I got a couple of the bones falling off over here. And that's the way we like them. And I'm gonna put a sauce on this side. And again, what I did over here, when I'm doing the sauce side of it, I did throw a couple of applewood on there and keep my heat real low just to get a last minute smoke on them. All right, so here we go. We got the finished product. And from what I see so far from this, the new rub I used, I like the way it looks so far. So we're gonna cut them up and let's give it a taste. Again, I'm gonna cut a couple of these for you just so you can see just how tender these things are. And again, man, use any kind of rub you guys want to. It doesn't matter. And if you just follow this kind of recipe, look, I mean, they're falling off the bone. There's the tenderness is there. And let's just give these bad boys a taste. And look, you can see the smoke ring around them, which is exactly what you're wanting. So let's see what they taste like. You can see how tender they are. And those are outstanding. There's nothing wrong with those. And again, they're falling off the bone. That's what you want. If you want to fall off the bone ribs, you follow this recipe, you won't go wrong. If you guys got any questions, just leave me a comment. I'll be happy to help you out the best I can. Hope you guys enjoyed it.